The whole basis of the art form really draws me in.
When you're looking for something and you have a camera in your hand, you feel a lot more liberated.
I would love to see something different in my portfolio. I have, a lot of similar things.
I've been trying to focus more on what actually makes up the land.
I really like to pay attention to the colors. Red dirt, green trees.
And I'm thinking maybe black and white at the moment.
We have nothing like this at home. It's just LA city lights and smog.
The Edge of the Outback program is an annual program taking international students on a photographic journey through Outback Australia. It's a 3-week program involving lectures, workshops on photography, and a 6-day field trip culminating in the students printing photographs for an exhibition. The students start off learning analogue photography, then move on to digital photography, all the time getting an understanding of Australian Indigenous and non-Indigenous culture. These students often have never been outside their country, let alone experience such an extraordinary, awesome landscape like this.
Going straight from Melbourne to Mildura was interesting because we kind of got big city, little city, which was kind of a shock for some of us, I think.
I'm from Seattle, Washington. This is my first trip internationally, so I wanted to both be able to study abroad but also be able to do something I love at the same time. So that's why I picked this course. We're about to leave for our trip. This is everything everybody's been waiting for, and hopefully we're going to get some wonderful shots.
You all comfortable? I am your driver. I'll be looking after you all the way.
We are off to Broken Hill, but we're going to do some pit stops in between.
The Edge of the Outback program for me is all about experiencing new things, getting out and seeing the world.
Now that we're finally starting our trip, I'm really excited. I feel like it's all photography based now.
I've been trying to take pictures of some of the wildlife, extremely close up, maybe some pond scum, anything like that just kind of makes up Australia at its smallest form is what I'm trying to focus on right now.
I'm actually a beginner photographer, so I'm here to learn from other people, to gain experience in photography.
The field trip is the highlight of the program. This is where all of the theory and the workshops are played out.
Working and show me if they're too light or too dark.
A lot of the landscapes, they're very different from in the States, especially along the waterways. I feel like the reflections are just absolutely gorgeous.
The students respond in an extraordinary way to these places because they're not tourist-based experiences. They are places that many Australians don't get a chance to visit either, so it becomes a very special experience that informs their approach with photography, afterwards.
The Palace Hotel is, it's something special.
It was like a haunted piece of art, but it also had kind of an eerie sense to it where at night I don't think anyone wanted to walk down the hallway alone. Before we left Broken Hill, we visited an abandoned mine shaft.
I really liked the big structures like elevators and things like that. Kind of gives you the ability to capture those angles that you don't get to see in day-to-day life.
I focused a lot on a lot of the patterns that were left on some of the steel and metals around there.
I kind of knew Broken Hill was kind of a transition point from, city to outback. I was prepared to be in the open land, experience the more natural settings of Australia.
I want to take a picture.
You want to hold it?
How do I?
Okay, put your hand here. Oh. No, there.
He's going to bite you.
Hold him there. There, what?
Oh my God.
He's not a bad feed if you eat him. He's all right.
Does he like it?
Back here. Go, the freezing quick.
It was nice because Peter was driving too, and he was playing some Aboriginal music, and I think that's definitely when all of us felt like we're going into the heart of Australia.
At night time you see the stars nice and clear, and sitting back and having a beer looking at the sky, you know what I mean? This is Mother Earth with something to offer you to see out there, you know what I mean?
I was really excited to kind of get away from camp a little bit and the ambient light and things like that, and look at the stars, and we did that, and it definitely didn't disappoint. It was really beautiful.
We walked through Mudawinji National Park. Some lagged behind, such as me, because I wanted to capture everything and anything that I could.
I would say definitely the highlight of the trip so far was just getting out and hiking around in the trees and jumping on rocks and things like that. It was definitely more the Australia that I pictured.
This place is a very sacred place to the Barkleys, you know what I mean? And the painting around here is so special.
The photographs today were lots of landscape photos. Obviously we're on top of mountains, so we got to see basically everything, and it was really beautiful to actually have the whole landscape in front of us. It felt like what I signed up for, like the experience that I was hoping to have, and just everything together kind of came together at that moment.
The students work on the development of images in their portfolio over the course of the program. Then they select some of those for exhibition.
No matter what, the gallery is going to be really important to me, because that's one of the reasons I came here, is to be able to show in a gallery and have that on my resume, because I think that's a really wonderful thing for an aspiring artist.
It feels good to be able to display your work and have people look at it and to see all the other works in full size.
You worked so hard to get to this point, and it's an amazing feeling, it really is.
Seeing all of the pictures on the wall is just like, it's a good closing.
One thing I've learned from this trip is just don't have preconceived notions about any place you go to or anyone you're going to meet. It's just, it's never what you expect. Just learn to be open to all of it.